Oh yeah, over the moon. If you said that to us before the start of the game, we'd have snatched your hand off, wouldn't we? You know, it's obviously a tough place to come, and you know we was under a bit of pressure there in that second half for a while, and some of that was our own doing. But the composure that we showed at 15-all to stick to our task and come away with the bonus point was something that we should be as a group immensely proud of.
Definitely at times it wasn't Ireland's best performance by any means. You know, there was some handling mistakes and whatnot, but to push on, as you said, when it was 15 apiece was probably brilliant to see them really compose themselves and to go again.
Well, we learned a lot about ourselves. You know, we've been here before and been under pressure, and certain aspects of our game have not gone well before, and the game's run away with itself, and you know we've been on an early flight back. You know, so this time round, you know the crowd were behind them. Momentum was going their way, and sometimes you know when you've got 14 men, you've nothing to lose, and sometimes when you've got 15 men, you're playing against 14 men, you've got everything to lose, you know, and we came a little bit desperate at times, a little bit inaccurate at certain stages, but having said all that, you take the rough with the smooth, and we came away with a brilliant victory in the end. I thought the lads were really calm whilst under a bit of pressure, you know, stayed on task, and thoroughly deserved that bonus point in the end.
Johnny, for you playing out there on the pitch, the crowd were incredible, the atmosphere was incredible, it was amazing to hear the noise here at the stadium. But when you kicked that first penalty, there was a lot of jeering, and something you don't really see in rugby.
Yeah, they weren't too happy with the decision by the ref, so they were letting us know about it. But I played in France for 2 years, so it was something stood to me from my time in France. So look, it kind of settled you down, really. You know, if you get a kick like that, you know, big moment. You know, they got down to 14. So yeah, happy with that, and look, just happy with the team, the way we kept our composure, even though things were going against us. And yeah, if you told us before the game we get 5 points and keep us in the championship, we'd have, like Faz said, snapped your hand off for it. So very happy.
Brilliant. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Hey Johnny, just wondering, you're a bit distracted there by the match. You kind of laid the match on.
Yeah.
No, it's not on.
Have you ever seen such a bizarre match in all your life?
The Man United match or this match?
No, but this
Yeah, lots of matches that I've played in over my career have been bizarre. Like that one wasn't. It was a good test match. You know what I mean? You're never going to come here and have an easy game, no matter what. England, they've lost. Someone said during the week they've 8 Six Nations games over the last 20 years. So it's an incredibly tough place to come. And when you come here, you need to play your best. And at times we didn't play our best, but then other times we played some great rugby. So probably a mixed performance by ourselves, but just outstanding by the lads to keep to task and to keep to the game plan. And we got our rewards with, a couple of tries at the end, which will be very important in the championship race.
Andy, how's James Ryan?
Obviously, he couldn't return to the field, but he's fine. He's up and well, and celebrating with the lads. So he'll go through the protocols again.
What were you thinking there with just sort of mistakes that were being compounded, or a lot of repeat mistakes in the scrum? What were you thinking would be your message when you got to mid at half time?
Well, obviously, like I just said, we started the game really well, didn't we? And we were cutting them open, and that's with 15 men, And I suppose even just subconsciously, when they go down to 14 men, there was space there for us, and some of the rugby was outstanding, and we was making line break after line break, and it was the force pass, wasn't it? That we had to just calm ourselves down and recycle the ball and trust ourselves a little bit more to just go through one or two more phases and get the rewards from there. But it wasn't just that. I thought England's set piece was outstanding. Our discipline was at times it creaked a little bit. So continuity certainly in the middle part of the middle third of the game was hard to come by, and I suppose that's what you want when you're down to 14 men. So hats off to them. I thought they spoiled parts of our game pretty well, and but as I said, 60 minutes there, or 60 minutes or so, can't quite remember what the time was, to be 15 all. And you know what? To be fair, you could just tell the lads were so calm on the field there. We knew it wasn't past them as well to do what they did in the end.
Congratulations, Andy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Johnny, congrats on the win. And you said you'll learn loads about yourselves there. What do you think you'll learn most as a team?
I think we'll learn, like the positive things we'll learn is that I think 2 years ago we would have lost that game. I think at 15-0 we wouldn't have had the composure to regroup, but the mental skills sort of development that we've done over the last couple of years really stood to us. Even the week we prepared for things like this. So that's the positive out of it. You know, and what you learn, I think, when things can distract you, like, you know, a team going down to 14 men, you need to just focus on doing the basics really well, and at times we just forced a couple of things. Those things were on, so it's probably execution more than decision making. And then at other times we didn't play. We tried to, you know, kick the ball, or didn't shift it to the edge where the space was. So look, there's lots we'll take out of it, and we'll just build towards next week now. We've got a chance to win a Triple Crown at home in the Aviva. We very rarely have had a chance to play for something in the Aviva in front of our home crowd. Often when we have, it's been away from home. So a big week ahead of us. We'll learn plenty, but you know, it'll be all focused on Scotland.
Andy, you mentioned English set piece there. From your point of view, what could Ireland have done better to manage that kind of mention they gave there?
Well, obviously the pressure that they put on everyone at line-out time is there for everyone to see, you know. So there's a few things that we need to work on there. As far as the scrum's concerned, you know, you could see the lads asking a lot of questions and wanting some answers, because everyone wants to get on with the game, don't we? Set piece wise, nobody wants to give penalties away or reset scrums, etc. So, listen. It is what it is. We go through the right channels and make sure we realise whether it's our fault or not. And if it's not, obviously we'll adjust and see what happens on the back of going through the right channels. So this is what happens in Test match rugby, isn't it? You're under pressure in all sorts of different areas. And congratulations to England. At times, set piece wise, they put us under the cosh.
Andy, you often use the term in Ireland being comfortable in chaos. Was that taking comfort in chaos to the nth degree? It was absolutely insane at times. Yeah,
it probably was actually. Yeah, it was a crazy old game, and you know, Test matches are never perfect. That's why they're called Test matches. They are there to put you under pressure, you know, and the quality of two sides is always going to make it very difficult. And you know, it's never going to be perfect. But we managed to find a way, and you know what? If you pay good money for that at the stadium, I'm sure you'd be happy. And you know, we talked about during the week of finding a way to get our supporters singing towards the end, and we did that. And you know, we go home tonight to recover. Very happy. Job done, and we move on to the next one.
For you, Johnny, how do you get that cohesion message back? You know, Eddie talks a lot about the Irish cohesion. You were just thinking that. How do you get that cohesion message and keep focusing on that cohesion during that chaotic last sort of 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's in your preparation, isn't it? Like that's where you get your cohesion. You know, the teams that I've been part of that have been successful, no matter what club they've come from, we've been cohesive because of the work that the coaches do and the way we prepare. It's yeah. That's what we've done.
Outstanding, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Hi, Chris question for both of you. Do you think the French team, these English team, sorry, could win in France next week?
We hope so. We hope so. I'm sure that England will recover well and take good heart from a great performance with 14 men, and they'll want to finish the tournament very well themselves. So that will be an outstanding test match as well.
Question for Jonathan Sexton. This is an opposition of style between Romain Tamac and Marcus Smith. Who will win this game into the game?
I don't know. Look, they're both very good players. I think Marcus did very well today. You know, when you get down to 14 men, it can be difficult to manage a game. But I thought he did that well. He kept putting the pressure on us, and you know, I think he did well and kicked well, and yeah. But I'm sure they'll look into their game and come up with a plan to beat France. They want to finish on a high, like Faz said, and hopefully they can.
Thank you.
Thanks, Johnny. Congratulations. Was there a moment, or was there a chat under the post, or like a kind of a moment where you felt like you got it back? You know, that it was slipping away from you, but you wrested the momentum back. Was there a particular, you know, was it Conway's kick, or like did you feel on the pitch that you had it back? You know what I mean?
I thought Conway's kick was going to be the turning point, and then we lost the line out. So we we were composed through the whole game, you know, but it's just our basic. Like, we started the second half brilliantly, like, you know what I mean. We had loads of pressure on. We had try scoring opportunities. We called a couple of balls, you know, out the back, and we didn't execute. We didn't take a couple of chances. They defended pretty well, like heroically at times with 14, and you know, you score there. You know, what are we, 15-9 up, and you score a try, the game totally changes, because then the 14 men have to chase the game a little bit. They have to try and play with the ball, and that's where you can capitalise. Whereas they just, you know, by sticking in there, they were able to stick to task. They were able to, you know, every line out, they just hit it up and kicked it and hoped to put pressure on us, and it worked. It worked. You know, even though I thought Hugo was outstanding under the high ball, and Andrew Conway as well. They really stood up, but I suppose the pressure that the players that were following up, flying into the breakdown did, and they got some penalties off the back of it. So yeah, our lack of execution will be something that I'm sure we'll look at with the coaches, and we'll try and get better, because we're playing against a team that you need to be really clinical against next week if you want to win the game. Thanks.
Take last couple there. I think Charlie Morgan and Ed Elliott trying to get in. Ed, do you want to kick us off, and then we'll finish with Charlie?
Johnny, you look to be soaking in the surroundings as you came off today. If that is to be your last performance at Twickenham, which it looks like it will be, was that how, you know, it was a scrap at times, but you must have, that must be how you dreamt of it going today?
Yeah, look, it's not really about that. I was walking off solely to try and drag some time out at the end of the game. I think that it's not even something that crossed my mind. I was focused on the game and trying to put out a performance, and like I said, I thought we did some great things. Other things we need to have a look at and make sure we improve on for next week. And like already, the dressing room, we're very focused on what's ahead of us. You know, we look back obviously to learn, but you know, it's a massive game now this week, and already I think the focus has shifted.
Just one more for you, Johnny. Everyone's been talking about how vulnerable France are. Given how well Wales restricted France yesterday and how well England played today, does that give you a lot of confidence next week that, you know, that game could go in your favour?
Yeah, I think England have a great chance of winning next week, like they always do, because England are England. Like, they're one of the most dominant team in world rugby. You know, they were in the World Cup final only a couple of years ago. They're building, I suppose, a new team, but they've had some big performances themselves over the last 6-7 months, with, you know, beating South Africa and Australia in November, and good results against Wales. You know what I mean? So it's England are a very good team, and we gave them huge respect coming here today. And I think, you know, our performance, you know, we probably didn't get the performance that we wanted throughout the game, but I think we showed glimpses of it. But yeah, I think England could go and do some real damage to France next week.
Okay, we finish up on you, Charlie.
Johnny, could I just briefly ask, could I get a sense of your conversation with Marcus Smith at the end of the game? There's a photo going around of you guys showing a handshake and a brief chat.
No, it was not a lot really. It was more just, you know, congratulated him on what he's done so far. It's probably the first time I've ever met him, first time I've ever played against him, so I just congratulated him on controlling the game really well with 14 men and said best of luck next week, and I hope that he wins next week. But he's yeah, like I said during the week, he's a great player, and he's got, you know, a huge career ahead of him.